Hey friends, my name is Drew. I use he, they pronouns, and today we're gonna do a 20-minute chair yoga sequence that will help open up the shoulders, the upper back, a little bit of your hips, and hopefully leave you feeling refreshed and good to go. You need a chair and a space to move, that's it. Let's get started. All right, so you're gonna start at the front of your chair. You want your feet to be able to easily find the ground. You wanna find the sit bones and sit tall. So you're not using the back of your chair at all. You're sitting as tall as you can. Ears over your shoulders, shoulders over your hips. You're gonna place your left hand on your left thigh and keep that grounded. Turn your right hand to face up and reach your right arm up overhead. And as your arm comes overhead, turn your palm to face forward. And so your thumb starts to rotate out. Then reach back behind you. So we're now internally rotated at the shoulder, sweep it all the way back and down. Good, and then we're gonna do it again. Palm faces up, lift up. You're gonna internally rotate so your thumb turns out, palm faces down, and you go back. Try to avoid twisting your back or your neck. Keep everything stable. You're just moving your arm. One more time, reach up. Internally rotate and reach down. Reach all the way back down behind you and try to grab a hold of some part of your chair. It could be the seat, it could be the leg, or you could just press into the chair. Keep that contact, take a deep breath in, and on your exhale, you're gonna lean your head down and away. In this position, you'll start to feel a stretch in your throat, in your neck, into your collarbone area, wherever you feel it, breathe into it. Take your time, 3 or 4 breaths here, nice and slow, in through the nose. And you can breathe out through the mouth. Things that you can do in this position to explore, you might rotate to look up slightly or rotate to look down. That's gonna change the angle of stretch, so go where it feels best for you today. Good, let's take one more breath in this shape. Good, and on your next inhale, whenever that is, bring your head back up to center. Good, release the arm down and we'll do the second side. Right hand presses down, left hand turns forward. You're gonna lift up. Internally rotate so the palm faces out, the thumb faces out, and go back. So as you rotate through the arm bone, notice how much of your spine wants to move, how much of your ribs want to move, and try to avoid that. Try to avoid twisting too much so that you're really starting to stretch into the chest and the shoulder muscles. Notice if you're clenching your jaw or getting a little funky in your face, try to relax your jaw, relax your face, do one more. This time we're gonna hold in the position in that back internally rotated position. Options are to hold your chair, press into it, or just reach down if it's too far from you, and then you lean your head away in opposite direction. Right away you're gonna feel a stretch. Now find your breath. The more you exaggerate your breath here, the more you're gonna feel opening into the subtle muscles of your scalenes, and these neck and shoulder muscles work in all directions. So again, feel free to explore any slow rotation of the head or the neck. The most important thing for you to check in on here is your breath. Let's take one more together here. Inhale. Stay for the exhale. Good. And on your next inhale, bring your head back up and release both hands down. Good. Flip your both palms up. Lift your arms out in front of you. So here, have your arms parallel to the ground. We want to feel the space between our ear and our shoulder and make sure the shoulders are down. Great. Bend at the elbows. Bring both sets of fingertips to the tops of your shoulders. Then we're going to start to draw some circles. So we're moving both shoulders at the same time now. You want to just glide through this. So try not to be too forceful. Go where it's easy to move. We're doing backward circles with the elbows. Let's do one more. Good, and then keep the elbows down, ring the arms forward, interlace your hands, and place them behind the back of your head. So now what's important here is that we're gonna gently press the head into the hands and feel if we can stretch the skin at the back of our neck up. So we're just pulling up on the back of our head, and you should feel your neck get a little bit longer. Notice here your chin. You want to keep your chin parallel to the floor, so avoid looking up. You want to look straight forward. I like to do this with my eyes closed, relaxing the jaw, and sending your breath, from your armpits all the way up to the crown of your head. You're trying to fill into your side body, fill into your back body, breathing in as deeply as you can. You can breathe out through your mouth whenever you need. Notice if your jaw feels tense or your face is again tense. Try to relax your facial muscles. Take one more breath here. And exhale out. Good, reach both arms up, inhale. Turn both palms forward and circle them both back and down. Okay, good job. Next, let's stand up and shift our chair. You're gonna move your chair in front of you. You need enough space behind you so that you can stretch out, but bring yourself down onto your knees. Now there's two options here depending on how your shoulders are feeling. I'm gonna show you the easier one first, and then I'll show you the more advanced version if you feel like you have that available. You wanna place your hands, the thumb and index base, on the corner of your chairs. And then from there, you're gonna walk your knees back so your arms get stretched out long. As you can see, there's an opening starting to happen here. Depending on what's available in your body, you might be able to go further or not. Take your time to slowly lower your chest, lower your head, and feel the opening that begins to happen in the side body, in the armpit area, all of this side body shoulder connection. Relax your jaw and try to breathe. It's totally fine to let your spine sink in and down here. So it's okay to arch your back. If that feels good, go into that. I have a fairly flexible shoulder girdle, so it's easy for me to stay in this position. If you feel any tearing or pulling that feels too aggressive, simply lift yourself up a little bit higher. You can always stay here and get just as much benefit from this. After a few breaths, if this position is starting to feel really good to you, if it feels enjoyable and your breath is happening easily, you might want to come up to go a little bit further. A more advanced version will look like the following. If you're good where you're at, please stay. If you want to transition to something a little deeper, you might roll up through your spine and slowly, taking your time to come out, walk forward, and bring your elbows onto the chair. Elbows can be as wide as your armpits or wider. And then the same thing, you're gonna go down. Now, this might feel, I like this one a lot because I can navigate how close my elbows move in towards one another. It's a slightly different stretch. It goes a little bit deeper into the armpit area. And as always in our yoga practice, we want to make sure our breathing is our focus. If we can't breathe in a shape, it's probably not the shape for us to be in. Take a couple more moments here. And when you're ready to come out, whether it's your elbows or your hands on the chair, tuck your chin in and roll through your spine. So tuck your tail under, and you can walk your knees in and slowly come up to find a long back of your neck. And just take a moment. We were in there for a while, so you might be a little lightheaded, you might feel a little bit dreamy. Take your time. If you're dizzy, place one hand on your forehead and one hand on the back of your head and apply just a little bit of pressure. Take an easy breath in through your nose and exhale out through your mouth. And then do that as many times until you feel ready to continue on. If you're ready, we're gonna stand up and do a little bit more standing. So I'm just gonna flip my chair around so that I have the back of the chair in easy access. We're not gonna use too much weight here. It's just a prop to help us square our hips and to help us stay really tall. So from wherever you are, you're gonna step your right leg back and bring your right knee down. Ideally, we have our left heel directly under our left knee, and we can tuck the tail under here. My hands are gonna push down on the chair, and my shoulders are gonna go down my back. So my neck is really long and clear here. Sometimes in yoga, we've been taught to arch our back. Not in today's sequence. I'd love for you to tuck your tail under so you get longer through the front of this back hip. Take another breath and try to get as light as you can through the crown of your head. Now you can stay here. If this is good for you, stay here. If you want to move on, lift your left arm up, inhale, get as tall as you can, and you're gonna twist back behind you. So as you twist, you can press down into the chair and then press down through that hand, and the action in the shoulders can actually help rotate your spine. Your back toes can be curled under, or you can have the top of your back foot down on the ground. If it's available for you, you can look all the way to your back hand. If not, look straight to the side. Again, breathe deeply into your side body for 3. Push into your front foot, 2. With your next inhale, lift your back arm, that's the left one, all the way up and over, and pause. Good. Curl your back toes under if you had them lifted, and stand up. Shorten your stance so you can get your back heel down onto the ground. So you really want to make sure that's connected to the floor. Once you've got that, use the chair to help you, again, draw the shoulders down and lengthen through the back of the neck so you feel your whole spine getting longer. Square your hips towards the chair. So usually that means your left hip is going to pull back a bit and you're going to find a little bit more stretch in your outer left hip. So this is version 1. Anchor into that heel, breathe. You can stay here. If you've got a nice calf stretch going on, outer hip stretch going on, stay with it. After a few breaths, if you feel stable, we can take it back into the twist. So again, right hand comes to the center of the chair. Left arm's gonna lift up. Find that lift through the chest, and then you're gonna circle around and back. This time, you have the option to put your left hand on your sacrum so you can really steer your hips to center. Breathing here, you wanna squeeze the inner thighs together and use your core muscles to help twist through the spine. Option to look over your back shoulder, breathing here for another 3. 2. What I love about using the chair in this pose is that it really helps you balance. Take one more breath. And when you're ready, release the left arm up and over, untwist, and come back. We're gonna switch sides. Left foot back, start with your left knee down on the ground and just pause. So again, we're resetting everything we've been working on, shoulders down, long spine, tailbone tucked. Uncurl your toes or curl them, whatever's more grounded. That's the choice you wanna make today. Use the chair to help find center, to find length. Then left hand to the center of the chair, lift through your abdomen, right arm reaches up, push into your right foot and then twist. And as you reach back, you can look back or you can look straight forward. Breathe, take your time, try to relax your jaw and find this internal connection that pulls the hip back and lengthens the tail down. Take 2 more breaths. Shoulders are down your back, away from the ears. And when you're ready, reach the right arm up, come back to face the chair. Curl your back toes under, stand up, shorten your stance so that your left heel finds the ground. So important that we've got that anchor point in both of our heels. That's our stability. After you've found that, lift up through the chest, push down into the chair back, lengthen your spine. Notice here the length of the neck wants to be long, so you're not looking forward, you're kind of looking down. Left hand comes back to the center of the chair if you want to twist. Reach your right arm forward, pull the right hip back, and then sweep the arm all the way up and overhead, hand onto your sacrum, and you can find however much rotation is available. Maybe you're looking straight to the side, maybe you're looking all the way back behind you. What's most important is our breath and trying to stay open through the chest. Anchor into your heels and stay here for another 3. 2. Take one more full breath. Exhale, stay. Release your hand, sweep it all the way up and over, and come back to center. Take a moment, and then step forward. Good. Stand tall for a second, loop your shoulders, and soften. You can move in any way that your body's asking to, maybe just a little shake, or maybe just one breath in through the nose, and one breath out through the mouth. Good, so after our standing poses, we're gonna bring it back down onto the ground so we can receive the benefit of this practice and relax. Turn your chair around and place it towards the edge of your mat. And go ahead and sit down in front of it, close enough that you can sort of scoot your butt a little a little bit closer to the chair because what we want is to put our legs up on the chair today. So you're gonna lay down and bring your legs up to rest on the chair. Depending on the kind of chair that you have, you may be able to fish your feet in between the chair back and the base so that you're sort of held on the outsides. If you don't have that, no stress. What's most important is that the backs of the calves are supported, that the knees are slightly forward of the hips, and that your hips can be really stable here on the ground. This slight decrease, or this downward line from ankles to hips, helps to calm down the nervous system and gives a little bit more space for our lower backs. In this position, you have the choice to turn your hands to face the ceiling, or you can bring your arms up and overhead to a cactus, or you can put your hands onto your body. Again, the choice is yours. I advise you to choose whatever is most comfortable. Today, I'm gonna put my hands up and overhead. And here, close the eyes as you feel ready. Allow your body to sink into gravity. Let your ribs get heavy. Let your head get heavy. And the first few moments in your final rest might require some micro adjustments, so do whatever you need to be most comfortable. If you have an eye pillow or you need to close the lights, take your time to set yourself up so you can really stay here for 3 to 5 minutes. Releasing any conscious control of your breath. And with every exhale, surrendering the weight of your bones and your organs, your muscles, and all of your physical body into earth energy, into that grounding, supported space. As you feel yourself slowly giving in to relaxation, notice the muscles around your eyes, across your forehead. Let them soften. Feel your tongue rest against the bottom of your back teeth, or the backs of your bottom teeth. Unhinge your jaw. Soften your throat. And relax. Your entire body slowly shifting into a state of relaxation and ease. No force or effort. Relax. Continue to notice how your breathing moves naturally in and out in its own rhythm. And perhaps ask your body if it needs a little bit longer in stillness. If you feel yourself tired or heavy in your body, it's an indication that you might need rest. So consider giving yourself more time here than perhaps this video even has. If you have the space in your day to stay longer in your relaxation, I wholeheartedly encourage you to take that time. If you have a bit of a busier day and it's time to think about moving on from your practice, start first by deepening your breath. Lengthening your inhalations to feel where and how your breath can be received in the chest, the back, the sides of your body. And perhaps exhaling through the mouth. You can sigh, you can make sound. what a gift it is to have a body that can breathe so deeply, so completely. Take a couple more in your own rhythm. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And if you feel ready for movement, you might today start by just gently turning your head side to side. This rotation at the neck is something that we might not get to do as often as perhaps our bodies would like. So much of our lives are lived in a screen culture, in forward-looking direction. And so just finding moments to do this simple neck rotation can help us release tension. Do one or two more in each direction. There's no such thing as too slow, especially if it's feeling good. And then when you're ready to transition out of your rest, bring your head back to center, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. You can place your hands down on the ground by your hips, step your feet a little bit closer to you on the chair. You can either just hug your knees here, or if it feels good, you can pull them more deeply into your chest to take a breath or two. And again, you can rock a bit from side to side. And then choose whichever side is more comfortable for you to roll towards. Reach that arm overhead, and then roll onto your side. Pause for a moment or two here, feeling your top hand on the ground as a support. When you're ready, take a breath in, and on your exhale, push down, bring yourself up. And that is the practice today, my friends. Thank you for being here. We'll see you soon.